Hi everyone, I'm Linda V. Taylor, and this is Best of Both Worlds. We have some exciting freehand today, so stay tuned. On the last show, we did some wonderful computer work and used patterns on the Elevate. And so now I'm going to put some freehand around those patterns. And I wanted to show you the sketch that I did, just so you can see when you're in the airport or you're sitting down watching TV at night, whatever, just keep sketching. So this is what we're going to do today, and I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, I'm ready to do my freehand, but I prefer not to have the open toe foot on, so I'm going to put the regular foot on that comes with it. And by the way, if you haven't seen the variety of different feet that you can put on, they are awesome. So all I have to do is loosen this screw, or this is not a screw, this is a nut, yes. And there goes my foot off like that. And then I just have to put this one up here and then screw that back on. So quick and easy. And tighten it. I make sure I get it good and tight because I don't want it moving. There we go. I don't really have a chalk pencil with me today, but I found, boy, this baste that's right up here on my machine. I just push the baste and I can come along like this, and this will be like it. In fact, it's even better than chalk pencil because I don't have to erase it, and it's so easy to pull out. This will give me a line so I know how far down to bring these feathers. Starting here with the corner, you can see I have a corner right here with my basting, so I'm going to come up with a pretty large teardrop right there. Like that. And inside of that teardrop, I'm going to put, these are kind of, I call them texture dots. They're kind of curly and they come around and then you just sort of stay in the same place. And then the middle, I'm coming up here, then coming down and coming over again on this side. And you could certainly mark that ahead if you have any fears, but this is freehand, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to come over and come out like this tight and swing out and make a point. So it's not going to be a curl, it's got a point on it. Over like that, and then out like that. I love the shape of that. Now inside of each of these wonderful, perfect half circles that we did with the Elevate, I'm putting feathers. And when I get over here, I'm going to do another teardrop with the texture dot at the top. And I just continue over like that. That first teardrop shape that you put in here is so important. I'll show you what I mean. Let me get this one done here. It's come out straight and then back with that first teardrop. And that sets you up to do your feathers like that. Stop, come back up. I know, I usually do the teardrop first. I stay on the side there and around and back. So straight out and around with the teardrop, then over, repeat it, follow that line back over. And if you miss that line, if you don't stay exactly on that line, stop worrying about it. Goodness. We do have things to worry about, but that's not one of them. Now I'm going to put my regulate on. I'm at 14 stitches to the inch, and I'm going to move my channel lock to one of these buttons right here on my machine, and it is the horizontal channel lock. So now I have the horizontal channel lock on this button. Now I'm just going to stitch up this side, and I'm try to be very careful there. I could use a ruler, but I don't have one right now. So now I am ready to put my channel lock back on, which is just that same button. Just on the other side of that button. This is the coolest thing ever, you see. And then I just take that off and go up just these few steps. And using the front of my foot is the guide that I'm using, so I'll have 1/4 inch as I come across. So I'll put on my channel lock and come across here. Then I can take off my channel lock, stitch up until it's just right again, right there. Put my channel lock on, just using that finger that I've already got my finger on anyway for the start and stop, and take it off. Okay, now I'm going to stitch up the side here because I'm going to do some other lines in here. About right there. And I'll be decorating some of these. Just take my channel lock off. Just that fingertip touch is amazing to me because I used to have to reach up and hit the channel lock, and now I don't. It doesn't take a whole lot to make me happy. Up here like that, put it back on. Skipping up. And one more here. There we go. And I know those are perfectly straight, which I love. In the middle of this, I want to show you a really cool freehand design. And you see how these are sort of leaning? That is definitely like leaning upward. And as I come around here, this one's going to lean down. So they're kind of like tracks, sort of like steps. This one goes this way. 2 and 3. And the 3 is really important because 4 isn't going to work. And 2 isn't going to work, but 3 does because it sets you in the position so that you can come right back around like this and then make that little teardrop again. There you go. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then come over here like this, and I'm just going to freehand a zigzag in here. And when you do a straight line like that, all you have to remember is to get there quick, okay? Don't take your time from one point to the other, get there. So now I'm coming over here, there. Just kind of look ahead and see where you want to go. And of course you could mark that. That's what you wanted to do. And I'm sewing up the side here like this. And I am going to come over here, follow that up to the middle, and I'm going to do a little heart. I think I'll just come down like that. I also want a little teardrop on the top of the heart. And I'm going to come around with some curls just to fill in that space. And this is the neatest thing. You don't have to worry about going on top of yourself. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So we'll come around here. And you can decorate your picture any way you want to. But I hope you can use some of these designs that I showed you. So that's the pot. So now I'm going to start on the feathers. I'm going to put the stem in for a beautiful feather that's going to come down here like this. This feather's going to have all kinds of beautiful things in it. We're going to start with sort of a fern like that, and it is also kind of pointed there. And then around it, going to come out like this. Now what I did again was I put some basting down here because nothing's more irritating than coming down and bumping on your, you know, on that bar when you're trying to stitch. So that's going to be kind of the beginning there. And as I do each of these feathers, well, I think I'll come back and put them in. I think I'll get the skeleton of my feathers in here first. And these are definitely the long arm feathers that I'm putting in. You see how I come out with a curve and then follow the stem back like that. And I do want to kind of reach out with them so that I can fill in that space. See how much I follow that stem back? Oh, look at that, almost all the way there. Just follow it back like that. Around and follow back. Fill in that space. And there. And then the other side of the stem as I come around. And you can see I'm not going to be able to do all those feathers at the top until I roll again. So I think I'll go ahead and put some of the designs in here inside of each of these that are on the outside of this feather. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it does to me. So on this one I'm going to come over, put a teardrop in like that. Let me look at this, okay. And then kind of a fern at the end. And we'll do another one. So you see we could do a whole line of feathers like that. These I'm going to drop down like that. Drop down, and then as I come back, like that. And then just to add a little interest, we'll come up here and just put some little feathers in between the stems. And again, I'm going to do that dropping down. This time, I'm going to continue. I love the look of this. It's one of those deep echoes that goes down right back into that area. So I like what it adds. And let's just put like a curl in there for a stem. Because everything else is fancy, so we got to continue that. Let's do a couple here. That are completely filled up with that pattern. And they can start leaning over. They don't have to be right in the middle. Kind of cool. But it's not, you know, I jump right back down inside. Right there. Right there. And that's what makes it so neat. If it's just echoed, It's just doesn't look the same. Let's come out here with some fun little curls too. All right. All right. This time we're going to put some really cute little hearts in. See how I come back and go back along that stem, okay? So this time I have a kind of an imaginary middle of the heart. You'll see that right now. There you go. Now you can see the heart form. So you could draw a line there with a chalk pencil. So you wouldn't have to worry about where that line was. Let's see. There we go. It's kind of like a half of a feather too. The top one is a heart. And you just meet the tails as you come down. Boy, there's some quilts I can think of that would really love that feather all over it. Okay, let's get another one in here. Not only come out with curls, that we can do other things as well, which we will in a second here. Okay, this time we're going to put in some more geometric. We've done a lot of kind of feathery things and curves. So let's do up and down, follow it, up and down. And I'm going to come up here. And then come inside and make little curls. I love the way the different colors come out of this thread. Put a little stem in, up, down. Leave yourself enough room to put a design inside. I ran out of bobbins, so I changed that. And I'm back putting these in. Putting in some little curly cues inside of this, like that. Okay, I'm going to put the regulated on now, and I'm just going to put feathers all the way around inside of these feathers. Follow that down. Now on this one, I'm going to put them all the way up to the top. So when I do that last feather, I'm going to follow this one back around like that, and then bring this over here and kiss and reverse. So those are kissing feathers. And then I can just come right back down here. So let's do one more of that, and then I'll show you another trick that you can do. To make that even more spectacular. And that is, just come inside and do your back and forth like this, elongated. And look how spectacular that looks. That is awesome. Let's do one more like that. There's that kissing feather again, around and back. We'll plant one right there. It's kind of a landscape meandering, but it's you keep it as perpendicular to the sides of the feather as you can. We can even go in this area. And while we're at it, shoot, let's just go ahead and put some wonderful little pearls, long arm pearls, on the top of that. There we go. We're going to put the stacked feather inside. So to do that, all we have to do is do a teardrop like that, come around, follow the edge of that back. So we make a feather each time we go in, and each time we come out, we're doing a feather. There's our last one. And if we want, on the way down, we can put stems in, and all you have to do is make sure that they are curved in the same direction that your feathers are. They look so beautiful that way. So this one we will not put the stems in, just so you can see the difference. I'll put these going the other direction, so they're coming up instead of down. A feather in a feather. And then back. And one more. You could make those really tiny if you wanted to. And also in this area we need something. So what I'm going to do is kind of put those snowflakes like this. Look how they're going to stand out. Come back down, put another one. Instead of a curl, really adds a lot of color. There we go. Okay, and that's about all I can reach on this side. So now I'm going to go to the other side. We'll do this bottom. I'm just going to have some little berries coming down here. And you just have to do like a little stem in them, and then a little curl at the end, and then you come back. They're just sort of falling out of the picture like that. And now I'm going to switch back to constant and turn up my speed a little bit. This is going to be an Egyptian curl coming down here, and this is an original curl of mine. So as I come down here, I come over like that, and that makes the first curl. Now what you want to do is as you're coming around, you want to watch the distance that you have here and the how much you came around in the curl like that, because what we're going to do is watch the distance, come right on top, touch the tip of the last curl, this is where you really have to be not afraid to go on top of where you have already stitched, which is something that we just really kind of have in our minds. One of those myths. You can't go on top of where you've already stitched. Yes, you can. Now I'm going to start bringing it back in closer to the stem. So you can see I made my curl a little closer to the stem. And in here. And this one will be really closer, right there. And the last one. And then I'll just come out on the other side, like this. And I can swing clear over to the side. I have that basting line over there, so I know I can't go past that. But you can force this Egyptian curl to go into any area that you want it. I've had it go around corners, circles, just some really odd areas on quilts. It's just phenomenal. So just practice it on paper and you'll be able to do it. kind of discovered it on a quilt, just in an area that I didn't know what to do in, so I just played a little bit, and there it was. Linda's Egyptian curl. And again, I'll bring it in a little closer because I got to make lots of room for other feathers. And I will be doing those later, and then I will show you the finished product. And you're going to love it as much as I do. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Kind of forms a heart up here at the top. So it's beautiful. Of course, this is really the bottom because it's upside down, but when you do it the other way, it's up right side up.
Wow, Linda, this looks incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome, and I will send it to you when I get it finished. Then you can do what you want to with it.
Yeah, it really is stunning. I love how you combine, the elements of the computerized, with the borders and adding your feathers, and then with the picture. It's just a really great combination there.
Thank you, and I love working on the Elevate. I mean, that's going to be like the cat's meow, because it has like everything that I need without being complicated. So I really love it.
We build them for people just like you.
Yes, you do. Yes. So you don't have to remember so much. It's just simple, and it's awesome. So thank you so much for watching Best of Both Worlds. See you next time.